Okay, well, I have another Magnavox DVD VCR unit. This one is a ZV457MG9, and that means that it does have the digital standard definition tuner as indicated right there. This one does come with a note, and so the customer attached a copy of the email correspondence. I can't add much more in the way of description. I've already told you in my email I don't know what's wrong with the unit or if something is wrong, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out and let me know. I'm hoping I can finally get to play it with my LG Smart TV and my cable box. It never has before, which is why I just stopped dealing with it. If repair is needed, please let me know how much before commencing work. I understand there is a $25 diagnostic if not repaired. I'm okay with waiting 16 to 20 weeks. Well, unfortunately, it's been much longer than that. This thing came in August right now, and because of the accident and whatnot, it has put me a couple of months behind, but I'm starting to get caught up. So this is from Linda in New York, New York. I've been there. Very nice town. So let's go ahead, and I just want to go pull the top off of this unit, and I said it again, and I'll say it again. Let's just go ahead. So let's pop the top. We'll just do a quick visual inside of this unit. So 3 screws in the back, and then there's 2 on each side. This side might need a little bit of body work. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, screws are put away in the egg carton container that I save. So yeah, here's what I was talking about. It's been bashed just a little bit on that side right there, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully there's no major internal damage. Looking at this unit, it looks pristine. Wow, even the fan does not have dust on it. This thing is mint. Cylinder turns freely. I always try to very slightly just add the minimal amount of pressure to make sure the bearings aren't seized or something like that. It does still have the auto head cleaner down here, and basically if you do a test, just take it and squeeze it and release it, and if it pops back to round instantly, it's good. Otherwise, take this off and throw it away, because once it gets gooey and gummy enough, it'll actually, well, it becomes like adhesive and it clogs the video heads. So I'm going to do the customer a favor and just remove that right now. And let's go ahead and plug it into the isolated variac. And I'll get the capture device connected, just in case it does actually power up. Out right, out left, and out video. There, that is connected. And capture device remote, once again the Cloner Alliance Pro, Cloner Alliance Box Pro, that's what it is. And let's go ahead and start the capture in 3, 2, 1, capture. And it never records on the first try, so I have to do it again. 3, 2, 1, capture. Okay, it is recording. It says no signal. Power has been applied to the unit. And I do have a clock display. I'll hit the power on button, and we'll see if we get anything. And we get nothing. And the power LED on the unit is blinking, but the clock, oh, the clock is blinking. I'm sorry. And let's go ahead and power this back down. We'll power it up once again. The clock is blinking and both of the source lights are blinking. So typically that means we have a bad filter capacitor, the 4700 microfarad 6.3 volt filter cap. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the capture device. And we'll stop it because it didn't do anything. Stop. And let's go ahead and pull the DVD unit out of this unit so we can actually see the switch mode power supply. So there's going to be 4 screws. Come on. Really? Why you got to be like that? There we go. Okay, fixed. So it's going to be 4 screws. They're long. I call them plastic. They're like a wood type screw with a very, very coarse thread, as opposed to these screws in here that have a very fine machine thread. There's 4 of them. And I'm going to file those 4 with that one for the HDMI connector on the back. I've already disconnected the 2 ribbon cables, the big ones and the one small. And so if I just kind of pull this back a little bit and lift up, and then a little bit of jiggling, and this unit comes out of here. And I'll set that down to the side. And looky what I see right here. There is the main filter cap right there. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera right there. And look at the top on it. It's bulged. That one's flat, and this one you can see has a bulge to the top of it. So I don't know how much I can focus in on this before it loses it, because it's so close right now. Wow, it's really going for it. Okay, move the cord back out of the way. And there we go. Yeah, you can definitely see the top of that capacitor is not flat like the other ones are. So that's probably going to be the main problem with this unit. It might need a VCR mode select switch cleaning. So let's go ahead and pop the power supply out of this unit. Just the 4 screws around the perimeter of the power supply board. Those are out. I'll put those in slot number 3 over here so I don't lose them. And we just got to go ahead and unplug this connector. Just like that. And then this should just lift up and out completely. Okay, one moment please while I clear off the workbench. Okay, workbench has been cleaned off. And here is the power supply board. Let's go ahead and zoom in on it just a little bit. Where's the focus? There it is. So just for the fun of it, I'll grab the blue ESR meter. We'll set it up here. I'm going to short the leads. And I always clean these contacts between the binding posts and the leads. I know when they're good, I should see about 0.09. Oh, 0.08, perfect. So there's a little button up on the top of this unit. That's the 0. So we'll zero it out. And we'll check the ESR of that main filter cap real quick. So first I'm just going to verify that we have 00, and we do. So I'm just shorting the leads together via the solder pad. I'm not touching lead to lead. And we have 1.4 ohms, which is definitely a little bit high. I'd like to see probably about, I don't know, 1 ohm or less. And there's the original or the replacement capacitor, and I read 0.1 ohm, 1/10 of an ohm. And we'll test this one once again, 1.4 ohms. So yeah, that is the problem. We should see basically 1 ohm or less, and I see 0.1. Yeah, definitely want to replace that capacitor. Okay, so I do have the solder sucker warmed up right here. Hopefully I have the right tip. I have a 0.8 millimeter tip on here. And we'll just go ahead and desolder that capacitor. Making sure that the negative is lined up with the dot down here on the board, just in case the silk screening was inaccurate. So this original capacitor is an Intercon 4700 at 6.3. The replacement, I believe this is a Nichicon 4700 6.3 at 105 degrees Celsius. I'm sure this is 85 degrees. Yes, it is. Which, really, come on, people. It's a few cents. Don't put 85 degree caps in a switch mode power supply. Use a good quality cap. Panasonic, Nichicon, Jamicon. There's so many different brands out there that you could possibly be using. Why do you choose? I mean, okay, you probably saved, what, $1 building this unit, and now the customer has to go through this turmoil of getting their unit repaired. I mean, at the minimum, this customer is going to be into it. Shipping both ways, probably $30 each way, because they live in New York City, and I live in California, which is probably the farthest away you'll ever get. Make sure that's pressed down all the way. So what I did is I pressed it from the bottom while I heated up the lead I already soldered. And we'll add some more solder on that one. I'm going to stand this lead back up right. Whoops, I'm sorry, it was off screen. And, oh, there it is. Okay. So you probably didn't see a lot of that, but that's the problem with doing unedited videos. I don't do a second take. So what I did is I pressed up from the bottom and heated up the one lead that I had soldered. It clicked into place, so it's seated firmly against the circuit board, so it's not like dangling up in mid-air at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip off the excess lead. And we're good. Let's go ahead and check just a few more of those capacitors. I've never had problems on these boards. And of course, thank you for shutting off right when I want to go ahead and use you. Okay, there's the blue ESR meter. Let's zoom out. I've never had issues on this board. I think I've had maybe one of these two big 1000 mic caps, 3300 mic caps fail. And I've had these drift, but I don't think they've ever been a problem. But I'm going to go ahead and test them just because I'm right here. And why not? Now, I think these are 6.8, nope, 220 microfarad caps. I'm good with probably an ohm or less on these. 0.9, yep, in my ballpark. And 1.1, I don't think I'll let that one slide. The big ones are these 3300s, the two of them standing up right here. 0.06, great. And 0.06, great with that. We'll test this other one. That one is a 1000. Probably a, I don't know, 0.15 or less. Oh, 0.09, good. So pretty happy with all of that. Like I said, never really had issues on this board with the exception of that one filter cap, and just a couple of times these ones were out and maybe one of these was out, but very good otherwise. Okay, let's put this thing back together. And I'm almost gonna bet, if I were a betting man, I would say that there's a strong possibility that we may need to do a mode select switch cleaning. But we will know in just a couple of minutes here. And yes, I did remember to plug that in this time. I've forgotten that so many times before. I'm just going to go ahead and plug in this one connector right there. That is the power for the ATSC or digital tuner. And you know what, if I do this one first, then my hand doesn't get caught in between the ribbon cables. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Try to get centered up a little bit. And we shall hook up the capture device once again. Okay, video, left channel, and right channel connected. And remote for the capture device, and recording in 3, 2, 1, capture. And it is recording, perfect. Okay, here we go. Power is being applied, power is on. And we'll hit the power button on the unit. There we go, power on. And I do see a display, which is perfect. We'll switch that over to the VCR mode. It says it's scanning, so I'm going to shut the power back off and turn the power back on. And it should stop scanning, but it's not. Well, let's go ahead and get a tape. And we'll pop the tape into it. So before I put the tape in, what I want to see is the tape to go in and set down and then totally pause for a moment. Then the cylinder should spin up and it should begin loading. If it doesn't do that, then I know it needs a mode select switch service. So power in, paused, it's loading. And look at that. It is actually working perfectly. Okay, so that's like 1 in a million that the mode select switch didn't need to be serviced. Now I have seen some of these, maybe not 1 in a million, but 1 in 100. Some of the later model units actually had dielectric grease in the mode select switch, so it did not need to be serviced. It actually took care of itself because the dielectric grease prevents oxidation. It prevents air from contacting the silver-plated surfaces. And so while I've been yapping right there, I'm letting it play, because if it stops after about 7 seconds, I know that the optical rotation detection sensor is dirty, or the prism is dirty, one of those. So it has to make and break the light beam to continue to play, and it's working perfect. So that is New Orleans, Louisiana, as you can see, October 5th, 1992. And I'm working the camera right there, and my mom is next to us, and oh, okay. Yeah. Good times, good times. Fast forward search, working great. No problems whatsoever. Let's stop it. And I'm going to go ahead and try to rewind it and make sure it rewinds. And no, it does not rewind. What's going on? It's going to unload. Power back on. Oh, loading motor's slipping. No, it's not going to be just a simple cap replacement, obviously. Stop. Let's try fast forward. Okay, that's good. Try rewind one more time. And it's working perfectly now. What? Stop it, play it again. Okay, it would not rewind last time. Now it's working great. What the heck? Oh dear, it must need a mode select switch service. It must have been just right on the edge. All right, let's take the tape out. And it didn't want to fully eject. What's up with that? So there's this weird little catch mechanism in here that's supposed to catch the mechanism and help it to eject farther. And I'm looking in here to see if it's working. And no, it is not. So looking down here at the side of the unit, try to zoom in for you. Oh, this is going to be tough. So it's got this weird little mechanism right in here that's supposed to catch that white post with the second latch and bring it back. So I'm going to stop it and eject it in this position. And yeah, it's supposed to catch it right there, but it won't lift it up. So I'll put it back down once again and zoom out. Eject. Yeah, shoot. I thought it was going to be easy. Doggone it. I mean, it did eject, but it's just not far enough. I'm going to shut this off. Shut the power supply off right there. So it should lift this up. I mean, it will. This is going to require a little bit more investigation. So I may have to do some of this off camera, otherwise this might be a 2 or 3 hour video. One moment, please. Well, I just simply loaded it by hand and then unloaded it by hand. And everything is working perfectly right now. So we'll stop it, we'll eject it, and it ejects out perfectly fine. Oh, but look at that, the pinch roller. It's in the wrong position. Maybe that was the whole issue. I've had issues with these things, like popping into the wrong place occasionally. Yeah, it's definitely in the wrong location. Shoot. No, I thought that was going to be an easy fix. One moment, please, once again. Oh, dear. So I'm not sure how far down this rabbit hole I really want to go, but I'm going to try. So maybe it'll focus, maybe it won't. So what I found was this little tab right here. You can see how it's not flat. It was completely sprung back. So I went ahead and added a drop of super glue to this to kind of secure it. And it goes in this hole right here. So it goes in just like that. Oops, sorry. So this tab right here goes into that slot. And then the broken piece goes into this hole right here. And then that clip attaches around the slotted shaft right there. So with that being broken, I think what I'm going to do is I've got a 440 drill and tap right here. I'm going to go ahead and drill a little hole just to the right of this. I already looked underneath. There's nothing in the way. So we'll drill a hole right there so it just barely clears. We'll tap it. And I've got a bunch of 440 hardware right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and thread that 440 screw in here until it just barely holds this part down right there. And I think we'll be good after that. So that goes under about that far, so I need to go ahead and drill it about a 1/16 of an inch from the edge so the center can go down in there. Unless I want to go ahead and drill that out, then I'll just put a big washer over the top of this and keep that down. Oh dear, didn't want it to have to go this far. Okay, so I've got my 440 drill bit, which I'm not sure what size. It's too small, I can't read it, but this is the correct size drill. It's a letter drill, actually. Okay, one moment. Let me drill this out. We'll see what happens. Okay, well, because of the angle that this was at, I couldn't drill a perfectly straight hole, and it did drift just a little bit from where I wanted it, but it is drilled and it is tapped. You can see the threads in it right there. Yeah, not quite what I wanted out of this. I wonder if I should go ahead and trim this back just a little bit. Shoot. I'm just going to go ahead and try to place it into position here. No, I think that's going to be okay. And so I'll get a single 440 and a washer out here. And I just need to cut this off because it's way too long as it stands right now. So this is my crimping pliers that I used for years and years. Trying to think what brand they are, but they're pretty good quality pliers. You find a screwdriver. Nobody uses flats anymore. So I'm just wondering, is that going to be long enough? Because it's going to cut it right here. Yeah, we'll start with that. Okay, so I've cut off the screw. Okay, so there's the length of it right now. I think that's going to be pretty doggone close. Okay, so I'm going to snap that off and then try to very gently pull this out. This is the problem right here. This came unsnapped. That's what moves the pinch roller. It's definitely in the wrong position there. Goes over there. Okay. I may have to do this part off camera. So it's supposed to go. Oh shoot. That's not helping. It's supposed to go in this little slot right there, and then it pivots on this point. Oops, sorry. It pivots on that point right there, and so when this moves this way, this moves that way, and that spring actually pulls this forward like that. I know I've been here before. Oh, the spring came off. Doggone it. Okay, so that's how it sits right there. There it goes. It's down all the way. So this is tough to put back together, especially when you're trying to do it. See, it's already broken the tab off. Yeah, the glue did nothing. Well, we'll see what's going to happen here. Because if I can't fix this, then it is going to be a goner, because they don't make these anymore. Now, either need a bigger washer or a longer screw. No, we'll try a full length. And I think I'll try to find a larger washer. One moment, please. Okay, I have a larger, much larger washer. And see if I can get it lined up in the hole right there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's actually holding it down quite nicely. Well, let's go ahead and power this thing back on and see if it's going to accept and load a tape. And of course, capture device is still running. Stop. Oh my God. Yeah, trying to do these things live is no bueno. Okay, let's zoom out. And we'll put the capture device on in 3, 2, 1, capture. Okay, re-recording. Power's on to the unit. Hit the power button on front. It did successfully power up, and we do see the RW screen. We'll switch over to VCR, and we'll pop a tape into it. Come on, baby. And it is playing. Perfect. Doesn't quite sit down as much as I'd like it to do, but it is working. Stop. Rewind. That's what we're having problems with last time. Stop. Fast forward. Perfect. Stop, eject. And it does work. Absolutely perfect. I like it. It's playing great. So next question, does the DVD work? Let's move this over here, get it up out of the way just a little bit, and I'll switch it over to DVD mode, and we'll open the drawer, and it does open. Excellent. That's a good start. And I will grab a DVD disc, pop it in here, and close it. And it's going to read the table of contents and hopefully read the disc. And it's trying. And so far so good. It did read the disc. Let's hit play. And it is actually playing the disc. Perfect. And mute the audio on my monitor that I used to watch this on. So working great. DVD is actually working. Let me find my 427 remote and make sure it actually does have batteries in it. Yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the next track. And it's not working. Oh, that's because I have one of the batteries in backwards. That's one of the tricks I use. If you store remotes, make sure you put one battery in backwards. And, oh nope, they're both in the right way. Nope, that one's in backwards, sorry. My bad. Okay, now it should actually work. Okay, next track. Yes, remote sensor is working. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and off camera check the capacitors in the DVD mechanism and see if they need to be serviced or replaced, actually. Let's go ahead and back over to VCR. We'll hit play once again, make sure it plays. And I want to make sure it plays an SLP tape before I give this thing back to the customer. Okay, ejects perfectly. Let's find an SLP tape. And what the heck? Oh, gift that keeps on giving. Now I've had this issue before. Catches over here on the side for some reason. Okay, well it's playing an SLP tape perfectly fine. Search. Okay, well it's working absolutely perfectly, VCR wise. A little noisy. Probably got some dried up bearings. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video at this point right now. I do have a successful repair on the VCR and the DVD does actually work. We'll go back to the DVD mode right there and hit play. And yes, it is playing perfectly fine.
Are they in the car, Vance? Is that okay?
So I'm going to wrap this video up right there. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. This mostly live repair on this Magnavox ZV457MG9. Definitely a rabbit hole I did not want to go down, but it wasn't that bad. I think the mode select switch is perfectly fine on this unit. Once you exercise these things, they come right back to life, and especially since it loaded perfectly the first time, I'm going to let this one go. Save the customer a few bucks not having to tear the support. So there might be a part 2 for the DVD caps after I check them. We shall see how that goes. Everyone, thank you for watching. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at NorCal715. You can email me, NorCal715videos@gmail.com. That is the best way to contact me. Once again, please be very patient. I have a full-time job and I do these repairs in my spare time, which, since my daughter and son-in-law's accident, haven't been a lot of spare time. Been trying to keep them going. Once again, my daughter can drive at this point, and she does have full function of both arms and wrists. Previously, she was in a cast on one wrist, so she couldn't even change one of her baby's diapers. But anyhow, we made that work. Everything's good. Thank you once again, everyone who so generously donated to her GoFundMe page. I really do appreciate it. Everyone, once again, if you want to contact me, use the Gmail only, and please be patient if you do try to contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. It's going to be a slow process. I haven't actually checked those in probably 6 months. And honestly, I haven't really responded to emails since the first of the year. It's just been so hectic. But I am trying to get caught up as fast as I can. Thank you, everyone, for understanding. I really,
that way
really
to me,
appreciate it.
but,
Everyone have a great day.
hard
Once
to
again,
tell,
thank you
obviously,
so
what
much for
his
watching.
intentions
I
are.
really do appreciate it.
Jennifer,
Bye-bye.
is there an exit coming up, or would it be next?
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Got to put in the arm right here. Duh. So this thing provides a little bit of take-up tension, and it's kind of a bugger to replace. Got to get that spring out from under it, and you need a very fine pair of pliers. There we go, attached. Now it does have a single screw that keeps it from coming up too terribly high. That might contribute to breaking off this thing. And we're going to call that good right there. Let's pop a tape back into it. Oops, helps if I turn the power on. Duh. Okay, power's on. Power's been applied. And there it is, working just fine. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.